Welcome back, everybody. Driver53 here with another short video on precision farming for Farming Simulator 19. And y'all, we are going to be cutting some grass today. That's right, we've got another test here where we're going to look at the target pH values, the target nitrogen values, the reduction of the nitrogen, and how much nitrogen is left with grass. So I've got some grass planted right here. I'm in loamy sand right now, and you can see that everything is good. And what I did this test a little bit differently. I went ahead and went all the way across so we could see the values a little bit better because I recently did a harvest and it might make it a little bit confusing on what's going on. So let me show you the map. So these are our soil types. Over here on the left we have silty clay, loam, loamy sand, or sandy loam, and then loamy sand. So silty clay, loam, sandy loam, loamy sand. And as you can see, this is where I planted everything at, all the way straight across. And the reason for this is, let me go over here. Well, first let me show you the pH. This is our area right down in here. And as it looks a little bit darker, but as you can see, our 7.0 is for silty clay. And then our loam is 6.75. 6.5 is our sandy loam. And then 6 is our loamy sand. So we got that done. Let's take a look at our nitrogen. Our nitrogen levels are really interesting because on loam and silty clay, they're both 200 right here. Now at 180, that's where our sandy loam sits at, and then at 160 is our loamy sand. So we'll turn all those back on. And this is the diagram, or the map that I was telling you about. It's really confusing because I did something to take all the nitrogen out of the ground completely on another test, and you guys can catch that one a little bit later, but it's still really interesting. So yeah, that's why I went all the way across, so we can get a really nice fresh map here and we don't have all these camo looking colors. So we're back over to soil types. What I need to do now is go ahead and get all of this grass fully grown. I'm going to get it all the way to the second stage, and then we're going to harvest it. We're going to cut it and see what everything looks like. So let's crank up the speed to 120. There we go. And yeah, I'll see you guys when it's time to cut. Alright, so the grass is ready to be harvested now. I want to go ahead and take a look at the map here really quickly, and I just want to make sure that we cover the predictions. Prediction is loam is going to give us 125%, silty clay is going to give us 90%, sandy loam will give us 100%, and loamy sand will give us 80%. So what I'm going to do is go down the edges here and mow this first, so that then as I start going back and forth, I'm not going to be picking up anything from the outside and see any weird stuff there. So let's go ahead and fire this up and take off here. Now I'm not going to worry about swathing it or anything like that. We're just going to throw it straight on the ground, and probably going to do 2 passes here, just so we can be certain that we're not going to have any interference from the outside. And once again, this over here, this is the area that should give us 80% yield. So I'm going to keep going with this, and I will see you all once it's all on the ground. And here we are finishing up the last little bit over here on the silty clay. So what I'm going to do is turn this off. We're going to get this out of the way over here, and we're going to look at the map. Alright, so once again, here are the soil types: silty clay, loam, sandy loam, and loamy sand. Let's take a look at the yields. Y'all ready? Alright, so I'm going to turn off all of these. Now, this stuff is kind of what we're seeing from the outside. So, I'm going to go back up to 125 now. We're expecting loam to be at 125. There we go. Perfect. Now, sandy loam is going to be at 100. Perfect. We should see silty clay at 90. Ooh. 85. Okay. That's very interesting. Why is it 85? This is the only crop that it's not been 90 on. and then loamy sand is 80. But this one right here at 85 is very, very interesting to me. So let's take a look at our pH levels and make sure that everything is okay there. So our 7 turned to 6.5, which is right. Our 6.5 turned, or 6.75, I'm sorry. Our 6.75 turned to 6.5, and our 6.5 turned to 6.25. And then our 6 turned to 5.75. So that's right. All right, let's take a look at the nitrogen levels. Here we go. So we're going to turn off zeros and 20s and 40 and 60. All right, so everything ended at 60. That is very, very interesting to me that, you know, our starting everything was right where it was supposed to be. I don't feel like we were over fertilizing that. If anything, 20 points, and that shouldn't have made a difference. But it's just still really, really odd how this yield ended up 85 instead of 90. Like I said, it's the only crop out of all of them that we have tested that I'm getting 85% on. Everything else has been 90. Let's go ahead and take a look at these slides. So the first one, target nitrogen level. On loam, you're going to start with 200 points of nitrogen. On sandy loam, 180. Silty clay is going to be back up to 200, and loamy sand is 160. Now I did all of those using the automatic setting on the seeder while I was putting grass in the ground. The seeder that I have has the liquid nitrogen, or the liquid fertilizer. So I feel like it worked on everything else, so I don't know why it would have been different on just this one. And I planted everything straight across. I didn't start on one side then go to the other. I went back and forth, left to right, and then right to left. So I'm not sure what's going on with this one. On the next slide is nitrogen reduction at harvest. So on loam, you had a reduction of 140, sandy loam 120, silty clay back up to 140, and loamy sand down to 100. So we've seen this before on other ones. I don't understand why it makes sense, but it makes sense. It's consistent with everything that we've seen from the other ones. So there's nothing here that's the outlier on the amount of reduction. And the last slide is nitrogen after harvest. Everything straight down is 60, which we've seen before. Doesn't happen a lot, but we have seen it. So I don't think anything's weird here either. Just the only thing that's really standing out to me as incredibly unique is the 85% on the yield for silty clay. I don't understand why. I mean, we've looked at everything. Everything was put in properly for the automatic settings. So I think there needs to be a test there to see if nitrogen level affects crop yield, maybe. But that's going to be another video for another day. That's going to be it for today, though. If you liked the video or learned something today, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you would. And if you want to stay up to date on all my latest precision farming videos or any other videos that I'm putting out right now of any other content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell too, because I do put out multiple videos a day sometimes. And speaking of the other content, I do map tours, I'm doing some other mod reviews, I do let's plays, I do challenges, so all different types of stuff. If you think anybody else would be interested in that type of content, go ahead and share it around if you would. The more people we have in the channel, in the community, the more feedback I get, and then I'm able to provide more better tailored content to you, the viewer. Have a great day, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53, signing off.